Carol's living room hummed with 18 guests. Balloons clustered near the windows. Her son Edward beamed beside an enormous birthday card. He'd spent the evening asking everyone to sign it, calling it a keepsake. A dozen names already scribbled across the front. Now Edward walked toward Carol, the card held out like a gift, his eyes bright. Then a small hand tugged hard at Carol's sleeve.
Grandma, don't sign that card. It's not a card.
What did she just say? The cheerful noise of the party drained away, leaving only the echo of those words. Charlotte, what do you mean? What's not a card?
There's a secret paper inside. I saw Daddy put it there last night.
A secret paper? Her throat tightened. She'd known Edward was ambitious, but this...
The party chatter receded to a distant hum. Carol gripped the counter, fighting the urge to tear the card from Edward's hands. Carol pulled Charlotte into the hallway, away from the party noise. Her heart hammered against her ribs.
Tell me everything, Charlotte. What exactly did you see?
Daddy stayed up late. He had 2 big sheets. He put glue between them and pressed them together.
The detail hit Carol like ice water, lamination. He'd hidden the second page beneath the signatures.
He planned this. The card was never a gift. Did you see what was written on the hidden sheet?
It had long words, official looking. I couldn't read it all, but I saw power at the top.
Power of attorney. This was worse than she'd imagined. Charlotte, I need you to wait in the kitchen. Don't say a word to anyone.
Carol's hands shook as she straightened. Whatever Edward intended, she wasn't about to sign her name without knowing. Carol slipped back into the living room, scanning for her brother Patrick. She found him near the fireplace. She caught his eye and jerked her head toward the hallway. He got the message.
Patrick, come. Something's wrong with Edward's card.
His smile died. He followed without a question. Edward was laughing with a guest. The card lay on the dessert table. Carol grabbed it.
Carol, what's going on? You look terrified.
Charlotte saw him hide a legal page inside. I need to see what it says before I sign.
They slipped into the study. The door closed, muffling the party noise. She placed the card on the desk. The festive signatures seemed like a cruel joke.
Please, let it be nothing. But her pounding heart knew otherwise.
Patrick leaned over the card, ran his thumb across the edge. He felt the thick seam.
It's been laminated, but poorly. There's a double layer here.
He found a letter opener in the desk drawer. The tip slid beneath the plastic film with a slow, careful motion. Patrick peeled the laminate back. The signatures lifted with it. Underneath lay a dense sheet of 8.5 by -11 paper, filled with typed paragraphs and official headers. The top line read, "Durable General Power of Attorney."
Power of attorney. He's planning to take control of everything.
This names Edward Grayson as agent, giving him medical and financial authority over you.
He meant to steal my life while I still had it.
The air in the study grew thick. The party noise seemed a world away. Carol's world had just tilted on its axis. Patrick shifted his weight and read aloud, each word landing like a stone.
The agent shall have authority over all medical decisions, including the power to place the principal in any care facility, even against the principal's expressed wishes.
A care facility. He was planning to lock me away.
This power is effective immediately upon a determination of cognitive decline, which may be made by a single physician of the agent's choosing.
A single physician. He could pay anyone to sign off.
Her hands trembled as she gripped the edge of the desk.
This was never a keepsake. He meant to strip me of everything.
He intended to institutionalize you and take the estate. This is premeditated fraud.
The weight of it pressed down on her chest. She forced her breathing to steady, but her mind raced with fury.
He won't get away with this.
Carol, we should take this to my firm. File an injunction. Keep it quiet until we have legal protection.
Number. If I stay quiet, he'll try again. Everyone needs to see what kind of son he really is.
You are risking everything. He'll deny it, twist it, make you look paranoid and unstable.
Then let him try. won't let him hide behind a birthday card. Not anymore.
She was choosing fire over silence, and the decision itself restored something she'd almost lost.
He'll stand in that room and see his own name on this paper. I'll make sure of it.
Patrick shook his head, but a weary respect settled on his face. He'd seen that look before.
You'll stand with me, won't you? I can't do this alone.
He nodded, then picked up the card, the hidden document still clinging to the lifted laminate.
This is the only way. For Charlotte's future. For my own.
Carol pushed through the study door, the card held tight. The party's laughter hit her like a wave of hot air.
Everything had changed. The party had become a stage for his betrayal.
She scanned the room and found Edward. He was holding court near the window, grinning at some story.
That smile, once her pride, now just a mask for everything he'd planned.
She walked toward the center of the room, the loosened document rustling inside the card. Edward caught her eye. His grin faltered, then snapped back too late. His gaze dropped to the card.
He sensed the shift, a tremor of fear beneath his act. Good.
She stopped beside the cake, heart thudding. Patrick materialized at her shoulder.
This was the point of no return. One word, and a family would break. She was ready.
Edward's mouth opened, but no words came. The party murmured, oblivious to the grenade in her hands. Carol raised her voice, cutting through the party chatter like a knife.
Everyone, please. I need your attention for a moment.
The room fell silent. Forks paused midair. Every face turned toward her.
Thank you all for signing this card. It means more than you know.
Edward's face went slack. The confidence he'd worn all evening drained in seconds.
But there's something inside this card that shouldn't be there. And you all deserve to see what it is.
Whispers erupted. A woman set down her wineglass with a shaky hand.
Let him squirm. He earned every second of this.
She held the card high. The uneven laminate edge caught the light. Impossible to miss now. Edward's hand twitched at his side, but he didn't step forward. He just stared, rooted to the spot. Carol's fingers found the lifted edge. With a swift pull, she tore the laminate free, never breaking eye contact with Edward. The plastic sheet came away like skin, carrying the fake signatures, letting them fall to the floor.
Stop. You don't understand what you are doing.
Edward lunged forward, his hand outstretched, but Patrick stepped in, a solid wall between his nephew and the truth. Carol held the page high, the legal jargon now exposed under the warm party light. Edward's face drained of color. Gasps swept the room as the truth became inescapable.
It's a durable power of attorney, signed by him alone.
Edward's mouth opened and closed, but no defense came. Whispers broke out like static.
Carol's voice was ice. He wanted my signature on this, so they'd witness it without knowing.
The document hung in the air, undeniable. No one laughed now. The birthday had become a trial. Patrick took the document from Carol's hand. He cleared his throat and began reading from the second paragraph.
The agent shall have authority to sell, convey, or mortgage any real property belonging to the principal.
Edward's voice cracked, breaking the hush. His hands rose in a plea.
Wait. This isn't what it looks like. It's just a precaution, a misunderstanding.
A misunderstanding. He was going to sell my home while I sat in some locked ward.
A woman in the front row covered her mouth. The younger guest pulled out his phone. Patrick read on, his voice flat, the words landing like hammers.
This power shall survive any subsequent disability or incapacity of the principal.
Carol's eyes never wavered. Edward swayed, his face ashen, the silence stretched. Patrick lowered the paper. No one needed to hear more. The room had judged. Carol stepped forward, her voice cutting through the stunned silence. She fixed Edward with a frozen stare.
You didn't count on being watched, Edward. Last night, my granddaughter saw exactly what you did.
Edward's mouth hung open. He looked like a man watching the ground disappear beneath his feet.
Charlotte? No, she's a child. She misunderstood. You can't take her word.
She saw you glue 2 sheets together. She saw you laminate it. An 11-year-old told the truth. You couldn't.
At the kitchen doorway, Charlotte stood half hidden, her small face pale. Several guests turned to see her. An older guest pointed at Edward, his voice thick with disgust. Edward's excuses collapsed. He backed against the wall, his hands trembling, no longer the charmer.
He has nothing left. Even his own daughter knows what he is.
The room turned cold. No one moved to comfort him. The loving son was a lie, and everyone now saw the stranger in his place. Edward's head snapped toward the kitchen doorway. His eyes landed on Charlotte, and his desperation curdled into rage.
This is your fault, you little spy. She put you up to this.
Charlotte flinched, her small body pressing against the doorframe. Tears welled, hot and immediate.
I didn't want Grandma to sign something bad.
Carol stepped in front of Charlotte, her frame rigid. The fury in her voice cut through the room.
Don't you dare blame her. She is the only one in this room with real courage.
Edward lunged forward again, but 2 guests moved to block his path, their faces hard with contempt. Get away from that child. A woman's voice rang out, thick with disgust. Carol knelt, pulling Charlotte into her arms. The girl's sobs were muffled against her grandmother's shoulder.
You will never come near her again.
A murmur of agreement rippled through the guests. Faces that had once smiled now held only contempt. Edward lunged for the document in Carol's hand, a last desperate grab, but Patrick's arm shot out and shoved him back.
That's enough. You've done enough damage for one night.
Get out of my house, Edward. Now.
His mouth worked soundlessly. Then his shoulders slumped. He snatched his coat from the rack. The crowd parted for him. Not a single hand reached out. He stumbled toward the front door, alone. He paused, one hand on the frame, as if waiting for someone to call him back. The silence held. No one did. He stepped out and let the door slam behind him. The sound echoed through the room. Carol didn't move. Her face was stone, but her hand trembled as she gripped the now useless document. The party was over in every way that mattered. Only the hum of the refrigerator broke the stillness. The silence stretched, heavy and awkward. A few guests set down their plates, uncertain whether to leave or stay. Patrick placed a steady hand on Carol's shoulder. His voice was low.
You did what you had to, Carol. No one can fault you for the truth.
Others murmured agreement. A younger cousin squeezed her arm, blinking back tears. Then, from the kitchen, soft footsteps. Charlotte emerged, her face blotchy from crying.
Is he gone? Did I make it worse?
No, sweetheart. You made it right.
She pulled Charlotte close, the little girl burying her face against the soft cashmere. They stayed like that, breathing together. One by one, the guests began to slip out, murmuring quiet goodbyes. No one lingered.
I'll fix this. Tomorrow, I'll make sure he can never try again.
The last guest pulled the door shut. The living room emptied, leaving only Carol and Charlotte beside the wrecked party. Carol's hands, unsteady after everything, struck a match. She lit the candles one by one, the flames catching her reflection.
Are we still having cake?
Yes, we are. Sit with me.
Charlotte slid into the chair beside her, eyes fixed on the flickering candles. The cake looked almost sacred.
You saved me tonight, Charlotte. You know that, don't you?
He was going to hurt you.
Carol's eyes burned. She reached across the table and covered Charlotte's small hand with her own. They sat in silence, the only sound the soft scraping of forks against porcelain. In the quiet, a new promise formed between them, unspoken, but as real as the candles still burning. Carol lay in the dark, the ceiling a blank canvas for her churning thoughts. Sleep was impossible. She rose and went to the living room. From the shelf, she picked up a framed photograph. Her late husband's smile was steady, the way it had been for 40 years.
He would have seen through Edward from the start. He'd want me to be ruthless now.
She thought of the brownstone, its creaking floors, the staircase Charlotte loved to slide down.
Edward would sell it without blinking. Charlotte deserves a home that nobody can take from her.
Outside, the street lay quiet. She'd been sitting there for hours, but her mind was finally clear.
In the morning, I'll call Margaret and cut him out completely. No inheritance, nothing.
She set the photograph back on the shelf with a final gentle touch. The decision was made.
This house will belong to Charlotte. And Edward will learn that betrayal has a price.
Morning light slanted through the kitchen window. Carol sat with the phone in her hand, the number already on the screen. She pressed the call button. Each ring stretched the quiet.
Margaret, it's Carol. I need a new will. Immediately. Edward gets nothing. He tried to have me declared incompetent. I have the fraudulent power of attorney right here.
A beat of silence, then her attorney's voice, questions about evidence and witnesses.
18 people saw him try to lock me away. And my granddaughter witnessed him laminate the document.
Margaret's tone shifted from shock to grim efficiency. She promised to draft the new will within the hour.
Make Charlotte the primary heir. The Boston brownstone goes to her. No caveats, no delays.
She listened, nodded, then finally exhaled. The appointment was set. 11 o'clock, sharp.
No more delays. No more second chances for him.
The attorney's office smelled of old paper and coffee. Carol sat stiffly across the mahogany desk. She slid the laminated card and the hidden document across the polished surface.
My son tried to have me declared incompetent. This is the legal trick he used.
The lawyer adjusted her glasses, then read the fine print without flinching. Her attorney's voice was flat. This is flagrant. We can draft a new will immediately. 20 minutes later, the new document arrived, still warm from the printer.
Charlotte Grayson is to be the sole heir of the Boston brownstone. Edward gets nothing.
The lawyer pointed to the signature line. Carol's hand did not tremble. The pen scratched across the paper. When she lifted it, the ink was permanent.
It's done. He can't steal her future.
Carol found Charlotte in the living room, coloring at the low table. The afternoon light fell soft on her braids.
Charlotte, come sit with me. I need to tell you something important. I went to the lawyer today. I changed my will.
What does that mean?
It means that someday, this house, our brownstone, will be yours. No one else can take it.
Charlotte's crayon stilled. Her eyes widened, a mix of confusion and something heavier.
But that's a lot. Why me?
Because you are the bravest person I know. And your father tried to steal it from both of us.
The girl crushed her face into Carol's shoulder, sobbing but nodding. For a long moment, they held each other. The brownstone's old walls settling around them like an embrace. The phone rang, cutting through the quiet afternoon. Carol picked up, her grip steady.
You think you can strip me of my inheritance? You selfish old woman.
He screamed accusations, his voice cracking. Carol just held the phone away from her ear, waiting for the storm to pass.
You laminated a power of attorney. You used my birthday to try and steal my freedom. The will is signed. The brownstone goes to Charlotte. You'll never touch it.
I'll sue you for everything. You'll die alone in a facility.
She didn't give him the satisfaction of a reaction. Her voice was cool, like the last autumn breeze.
You did this to yourself, Edward. Goodbye.
The click of the receiver echoed. She leaned against the wall, her heart thudding not with anger, but with a clean, quiet finality.
It's over. Charlotte is safe, and I am free.
The next afternoon, Carol and Charlotte sat on the porch swing. The air was warm with early summer, and the brownstone stood solid behind them.
Grandma, can we plant flowers this weekend? Pink ones, by the front steps.
We can. I'll get the seed packets tomorrow.
They didn't mention Edward. The silence was no longer heavy. It was a shared space they were learning to fill with small, easy things.
Her husband would have been proud of this little girl, more than she could ever say.
Inside, Charlotte spread her crayons across the kitchen table. She drew a house with a swing. The brownstone looked enormous and safe.
That's a beautiful picture, sweetheart. You even got the steps right.
The cracks in the old walls seemed less like damage and more like character. The house felt like theirs again.
Grandma, I am glad you didn't sign that card.
Me too, sweetheart. More than you'll ever know.
Weeks later, Carol and Charlotte stood on the porch, the city lights just beginning to flicker in the distance.
You are the best part of this family, Charlotte. Never forget that.
I won't.
They watched the skyline for a long minute, the weight of the past months settling into something like peace. Then Carol took Charlotte's hand, and together they turned toward the door. The brownstone stood solid behind them, its bricks glowing amber in the evening light. The screen door clicked shut, and the porch was still. Inside, the old house held them close, the way it had for a century. The false card was gone, its memory fading with the last of the birthday cake. But the brownstone and the girl who saved it remained untouchable.